Okay, so good afternoon everybody. Today we are going to discuss tutorial sheet number 4 and problem number 10 and 11. Okay, so but before solving these problems, I think something is needed to discuss. So that I am going to discuss. First is the body fixed frame of reference. So what is body fixed frame of reference? The name suggests that you just attach the frame of reference to the body, moving body. That becomes the body fixed frame of reference. Now why it is needed? Because we are learning the dynamics, right? So in a dynamical system, we identify a subsystem and not use any complicated wording. So let's give an example. That example becomes the best definition. Now you think about, say this is your table fan which I discussed in many previous classes. This is your table fan, and in this table fan you just identify the hero. Who is the hero in this table fan? Of course you are going to say the blades, because whenever you are going to design the table fan power requirement and it's all these things, right? So what you are going to do is that you will be looking into what is the speed, at what rate it is going to precise, and what are the inertial properties of the blade. But all these things are immaterial. So this candidate becomes the hero. Please note it carefully. So this blade becomes the hero of this entire dynamics or entire system. So what I am going to do is that I am just going to do on the blade, I will be just taking a marker, and on that marker what I did is that I have just drawn a line of x axis. On that line I have just denoted a line of y axis. Just note carefully that with a marker, let's say with the chalk, if it is of steel or something, I will just draw a line of x axis perpendicular to it, y axis, and definitely the z axis is going to be floating one, so I cannot mark it, but I can imagine that this is what is my z axis. Okay, now you look carefully that as I told that this table fan blade is rotating at 800 rpm, and at the same time the motor is rotating at 800 rpm, but at the same time it is swinging from one end to other end at 5 rpm. So this becomes the 800 k rpm, and that becomes the 4 or the 5 rpm. But note it carefully. Please note it carefully that these coordinate axes are moving. They are moving, they are not fixed. However, the fixed frame of reference is like you are seeing it, whatever the coordinate system that you are having is the capital XYZ. I am seeing it. So I am just enjoying the cool air thrown by the table fan. So I am just having my coordinate system is capital X, Y and Z. So you understand the body fixed frame of reference is, it is being attached to the body, moving body. Now I am going to make a clear picture which I discussed earlier as well. This very diagram in the dynamics of particle chapter I discussed. Capital X, inertial frame of reference, XYZ, and an accelerating, this is what is 0, small x, y and z, it is accelerating as it is having the angular velocity of omega and angular acceleration of alpha. At the same time the A point is going to move. Okay, sure. So now you look carefully that, but there is one catch is there. You look carefully that in these two cases what I have done is that I have made small x is absolutely parallel to capital X. Small y is absolutely parallel to capital Y, and small z, so is the small z and capital Z. So what does that mean? They mean that at that instant of time they are coincident. They are in the same direction. But in the next instant they are going to change. Now how you can measure those changes? Definitely you can measure those changes. How? Because you know at what rate they are changing. So from the coordinate transformation you can directly get it. Yeah, in the dynamics chapter we will be transforming the coordinate. But for the kinematics part, let's consider. If you want, if you are not satisfied with this logic, so just take it with a pinch of salt, and in the dynamics chapter we will be getting clarified. Okay, sure. So what I am doing is that at this instant of time, at any instant of time, at some instant of time, so this small xyz is having the same direction as of capital XYZ. But I can get all those velocities, whatever is there, the rotational coordinate or velocities, acceleration of any point from the coordinate transformation. And that coordinate transformation is nothing but the orthogonal transformation. That means you are going to get a matrix of cos, sine and their multiplication and all this. Okay, sure. So it is now bit clear. So just let's do. So what is the total angular velocity of this small xyz frame? Omega, or the body? Now we are calling it as the body or the small xyz frame. What is the total angular velocity? Yes, tell me. Omega is going to be, yes, 800 k plus 5 j rpm. So just look carefully. This is what is my system, and this is what is I am understanding through the figure. I mean, whatever you are going to say, I am just going to draw this over here. So this omega is this. Now what is alpha? Alpha is going to be, yes, tell me. Alpha is going to be 5j plus the entire, or I can make it 800 k. So I'll be just choosing I, j, k. So it becomes j times k I. So it is 4000 I revolution per minute ka square, per minute ka square. That's it. So over here alpha is this. Now you choose any point on it. Any point. Let's say this. Let's say this becomes your accelerating point, A point. This becomes your O point. Now choose any point onto it. So this point will be having the coordinate of, let's say, small x and y. Because it is body fixed frame. Okay, body fixed frame. So from there you can get, what is this point P? Let's say this is your point P. So from here what you are going to get is R P by A is equal to x, it is going to be just a generalized point xi plus yj, and let's say some z point is there, so it is going to be z. Okay, sure. That means the blade is somewhat bent, right? You don't know that what is the point. I mean, it is somewhat been bent. If you just carefully look the blade, you are going to get that it is somewhat been bent. So from the center, you don't know that where this point is going to be. Though it appears that it is in the same plane, but it cannot be in the same plane. So that is why in general point I made it like this. Now if I am going to ask, what is the velocity of this P point? The P point you have marked it. Now you are going to say, what? You tell me, what you are going to say? You are going to say that it is having the velocity of point P is equal to velocity of point A plus Rp by A ka dot plus omega cross Rp by A. This what is the general form? You are going to write. But you look carefully that your A point is not moving at all. It is, you just look into the table pen, the A point is not going to move. They are not going to change. It is fixed. So this part is going to be 0. Rp by A ka dot, because the blade is considered to be rigid. So this part is going to be 0. Only you are left with omega, which means this times Rp by A. Sure. So just through this concept, we'll be solving problem number 10 and 11. And you look carefully what I am doing over here. I am solving through this process. To get the angular acceleration alpha, I have used absolute differentiation of vector. Okay, sure. And to get the velocities, the derivation, everything is conducted by the absolute differentiation of vector. So if we have a strict sense of absolute differentiation of vector, these problems are done. Right? Now let me explain another point. Another point is that if you look Beer-Johnston and SEMS and medium, you are going to get there are many ways to solve these kind of problems. Okay. So what I am going to choose is that I am going to choose a direct method. Just I will be using strictly absolute differentiation of a vector, and from that I am trying to solve the entire problem. But you are free to choose any method used by the books, but they are going to lead to the same result. So please keep in mind. Now we are coming to problem number 10. So for problem number 10, let me draw the problem number 10. It is talking about problem number 10 is talking about problem number 10. So there is a kind of thing. Arm is there, and on that arm, this is the point, and it is attached to it. So it is rotating at 5 rpm. Omega 1 is equal to 5. Radian per second, and this is omega 2 is equal to 4 radian per second. This is exactly the fan problem that I have discussed. Okay, so what I will be doing is that I will be just using a coordinate system. So irrespective of it, whatever the coordinate point it is going to say, I am going to choose this as a point. Just keeping this diagram in mind. So I am going to choose that this axis is small x axis, this axis is small y axis, and this axis is small z axis. And in line with it, I am going to make this axis is capital X axis, this axis is capital Y axis, and this axis is capital Z axis. They are the inertial frame of reference. Okay, and it is telling that this radius is 60 millimeter. The radius is R is equal to 60 Nm. So this is rotating and it is just attached to a linkage, and this is going to rotate. Exactly the same problem as that of the typical. Okay. So now what to do? We will be defining now the total angular velocity and the angular acceleration of the disk. So it is asking that first part, it is having a certain angle. The P point is at angle theta. The P point is at the angle theta. It is at the circumference. So this is the angle theta. So you have to find out for theta is equal to 0 degree and theta is equal to 90 degree. So first part is theta is equal to 0 degree. So for theta is equal to 0 degree, you understand that your position vector is R P by A. For theta is equal to 0 degree is equal to what it is going to be? Yeah, 60 millimeters. So 60 millimeter means 0.06. Yes, 0.06 centimeter. 0.06 meter. 0.06 meter towards I. So 0.06 I meter. Now it is going to ask that what is RA? Sorry, RA point. It is not given. So let us assume that it is the distance d times I. Okay, meter. So the position vectors are now known to us. Now we will be going for omega. What is omega? Omega is equal to, yes, tell me. It is a combination of two omegas are there, because this is rotating and this entire assembly is rotated by this. So your omega is equal to omega 2 times z. Yeah. So 4k primary plus you have 5 I. The sense of rotation is alright, anti-clockwise, and over here is also anti-clockwise. Yeah. So it is 4k plus 5I. Now what is going to be the alpha? Alpha is equal to, yeah, tell me. Now you are going to get over here, the vector is towards k and yeah, to this, and this entire vector is rotated by 5 radian per second. This is what is the resultant vector. Look at an instant of time, and this resultant vector is rotated by 5 radian per second. So it is going to be 5 I cross the entire, or you can make it as 4k. So it is going to be I and k counterclockwise. So minus 20 J. Okay, sure. Now I'll be directly going to the acceleration. So for the acceleration of point P, what is that? It is RA ka double dot plus, tell me, RP by A ka double dot plus twice omega R dot P by A plus, what is that? Alpha cross RP by A plus omega cross RP by A. So that becomes the moving frame acceleration. This is the local acceleration. This is the Coriolis acceleration. This is the tangential acceleration and this is what is your centripetal acceleration. So in this case RA will be having only the centripetal acceleration because this RA is not going to change, right? But is it going to be centripetal acceleration? I mean, even if it is there, so you just think from this point to this point, how it is going to change? Is it changing at all? No. Let's check. Let's check. Okay. So over there many terms are 0. First, one is rigid. So this is going to be 0. Rigid. So this is going to be 0. Now what else we are having? So acceleration of point P. Acceleration of point P is equal to RA double dot. So what I am going to write? Omega 1 is equal to 5I. So 5I cross 5I cross DI. What is this? 0 plus what we are having? Alpha. Alpha means minus 20 J times what is R? RP by A? Yeah, 0 point into 0.06 I. Okay. So first part is over. Next is 4K plus 5I cross 4K plus 5I cross 0.06 I. Yes, 0.06 I. Done. So this is going to be 0 and it appears to be 0 because you look carefully with respect to it, there is no change. Okay, if it is going to rotate with respect to y, then there is centripetal acceleration. Otherwise, there is no centripetal acceleration. Okay, the velocity is going to be 0. So as there is no velocity, you understand that this velocity part is going to be 0. So that is why there is no acceleration. Okay, sure. So this is the thing. Now let's do one thing. Ji, yeah, minus k and clockwise. So 26 1.2 k plus 4k plus 5I cross, yeah, 0.06 I k ki z. Yes, j is going to be 4 into 0.24 j is equal to, okay, let's do it over here. So we got 1.2 k plus, yes, now let's come kj minus 4 into 24. So 96 I. Now 5.24 1.2 ij here k. So plus 1.2 k. So it is going to be 2.4 k minus 0.96 I. Yeah, let's check whether it is correct or not. Yeah, exactly, it is matching. 0.96 I and 2.4 and 2.4. That's it. So now we understand that we took the example of table fan and we we just used that common sense in order to derive everything. And you just look carefully. Just if you understand the table fan problem, the entire whatever the problems are there, any complicated problems are there, that is to be absolutely clear. No problem. Yeah. So please look carefully. One thing for rotation. One thing, as I told, that we always measure those angular velocities and acceleration with respect to inertial frame. Please keep one thing in mind. So if you just keep that concept in your mind, then every problem you can solve it. Okay, sure. Now we will be coming to problem number 11. Problem number 11 is somewhat, note it carefully, that we have used only this figure, whatever is there before erasing. Whatever is there, we have just taken those data and fit it to this figure. So this figure is not going to change. This figure is not going to change. And please keep one thing in mind, that this K and I is valid only for this instant of time. That means you are going to write with respect to capital X, Y, Z is valid only for this. Now, if you want to make it capital I and capital J, then you have to take the coordinate transformation. Will be coming later, as I discussed in the previous class. Previously in this class. So will be just everything will be erased off. Only this part will be keeping. Just will be drawing the figure. So over here the figure is somewhat, there is a collar kind of thing. Exactly, this is what is the collar, and there is a link, and this is what is the link, and over here there is a disk. So this disk is the hero. Okay. So other linkages are for dynamical problem, we will be considering that these linkages are negligible losses. Okay. So that is why we are keeping over here the body fixed frame. So it is having, let's say this is what is my small x coordinate, this is what is my small y coordinate, and this is what is my small z coordinate. And similarly over here we are going to keep at this fixed point inertial frame, which is going to be, let's denote it like this, because this is the linkage we have to keep in mind. So let's say this is what is my capital X, this is what is my capital Y, and this is what is my capital Z. Now how many rotations are there? That I am going to make, that this collar is rotating like this, is rotating at omega 1 is equal to 8 radian per second, and this disk is rotating at omega 2 is equal to 12 radian per second, and this distance is 19. I am just marking, right? From this to this it is 19.1 centimeter, and this distance is 45.7 centimeter. And the radius of the disk is 22.5 22.9 centimeter. 22.9 centimeter. Sure. Now let us find what is R. So this is what is my A point. Though this problem is asking the acceleration of A point, but for our understanding we will be just removing that. We will be considering A point as a P point. So over here A point is just over here. So we will be denoting it as P point. So don't be confused. The problem statement is telling that if you have to find out the velocity and acceleration of point A, but I am just changing it, the A point to P point. This is what is the P point. I have to find out the velocity and acceleration of P point, and I am marking this A point as the center or the origin of the body fixed frame of reference. Sure, just to keep it parity with this P, right? So now what I am going to write is Rp by A is equal to what? What are you going to write? 0.229 J. Agree or not? Yeah, this is what is. Now what is RA? RA is going to be, I'll be moving 0.191 I and towards Z minus 0.457 K. Okay, sure. Now what is omega? Omega is equal to, tell me, there are two rotations. One is about Z anti-clockwise, so it is 12 K, and it is anti-clockwise, yes, plus 8 J. Okay, sure. So at this point it is having J and K, so it is, yes, so it is in this plane, and this resultant angular velocity is going to rotate at 8 radian per second. So my angular acceleration alpha is going to be 8J cross 12K. What it is? J and K I. So 90. Yeah. 96 I. 96 I. So I got everything. So now look, I got everything, and I'll refer this to you. I'll just refer this way to get the velocity and acceleration. Okay, so it is asking determine instance on velocity and acceleration of point A. So velocity of point A, what it is going to be, or velocity of point P is going to be R A car dot plus R P by A car dot plus omega cross R P by A. So you understand that this is going to be 0. Now RA is what? Tell me. RA is equal to what? RA is going to be, tell me, omega 1. That means 8J cross RA, that means 0.191 I minus 0.457 K plus omega means 12 K plus 8 J cross RP by A is equal to 0.229 J. Yeah, so unlike the previous problem, it cannot be done without the calculator. Okay, so what I did is that I have not used calculator, rather I used the MATLAB program, and I got how much, let me check how much I got. Yeah, I got, just please check whether you have got it or not. Just check for reference. 0.6.4040 I minus 1.5528 K. That much I got. Let me check. Yeah, 6.35, 1.5. Yeah, to some extent it is all right. I mean, these numerical values are, it's all right. So just check. You are going to get approximately 6.3 or something for whatever, and 1.5. That's it. So it's the answer. Numerical values are not that much important. Only the important is that the understanding. Now let's come to the acceleration of point P. Acceleration of point P will be just using the same. So we will be having for the acceleration of point P. For the acceleration of point P, we will be having acceleration of point P. We will be having R A double dot plus alpha cross R P by A plus omega cross R P by A. So you understand that this part is already over there. This part is already over there. We will be just using the multiplication and you are going to get. But let's come to RA double dot. What is going to be the RA double dot? RA double dot is going to be, yeah, tell me, 8 J cross 8 J cross, yes, what is RA? RA is 0.191 I cap minus 0.457 K cap plus this alpha cross RP by A plus omega cross RP by A. This is what is going to be. So you look carefully that this point is having only the centripetal acceleration. And who is the candidate to create the centripetal acceleration? Is only this. There is no other acceleration because there is a constant. If it is having certain angular acceleration of this around this, then it is having a tangential acceleration. But it is missing over here. So it is having only this, which was missing in the previous one. Okay, sure. So over here also, either calculator or MATLAB or something has to be used. So I got, let me tell you the result, whatever I have got. Please check whether you are getting or not. So it is going to be minus 12.2240 I minus 32.976 J and plus 73.216 J. So these numerical values are not important. I mean, even if you are making instead of 12 0.21 something, but these concepts are clear, you are going to get full marks. No issue is there, but might be out of 10 to some extent might be 1 marks would be deducted, at the most 1 marks, because you understand that those who have made clear just to distinguish, nothing more than that. So nothing matters. So that's the thing is. So now let me summarize what we have done. We have anticipated that in the dynamics chapter we will be using the body fixed frame of reference. Why? Why we will be using body fixed frame of reference? Look over here, that if you are going to, it is having certain rotational inertias, right? So if you are going to use capital XYZ, you look carefully that each and every point is going to change with respect to capital XYZ. So its inertia property is going to become a function of time instead of a space property. But if you are going to use small XYZ frame, then its inertia property is time independent. That advantage we are going to take in the dynamics chapter. So that is why we have used body fixed frame of reference. Okay, now sure. So we'll be just within a few days we will be entering into the dynamics chapter. So that's it. Now problem number raised problem numbers are 8 and 9. I'll be solving in the next class. Okay. So thank you for your patience. Thanks.